The bad guys are using drones. Does anybody disagree with that? Okay. And federal government has the authority to fight back, does it not? But state, nobody disagrees with that statement? Sure, Professor.
I would say within limits, yes, within constitutional limits.
Do any of you disagree with giving state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back?
Again, within constitutional limits.
Hey folks, welcome back to Hot News Today. Today, we're diving into an intense Judiciary Committee moment. Senator John Kennedy grilled Professor Donohue on drones, law enforcement, and the Constitution. Stick around, things got heated. Let's break it down, segment by segment.
Tell me what your constitutional concerns are, Professor.
So I have three primary concerns. The first has to do with the Fourth Amendment and the conditions under which a warrant is required and a general warrant is forbidden by the Fourth Amendment. So in this particular case, it's important.
Professor, before you give me one of your lectures, are you saying that we should require state and local law enforcement to get a warrant before they fight back?
It depends on the condition. So in an exigent circumstance or something along the border.
I'm aware of the exception to the warrant requirement. But you, generally speaking, you want to require them to get a warrant.
Only for the search of a device or the seizure of property. There are also due process implications of that.
Okay. You started to mention another one of your objections.
First Amendment.
First Amendment, okay. Any others?
Yeah, I also have a state rights, a 10th Amendment concern here, which is that states own the airspace adjacent to the land within their state that's not federally owned, and the current federal provisions don't recognize state sovereignty in that way.
So here's how it all starts. Senator Kennedy opens with a simple premise. The bad guys are using drones, and nobody disagrees. He then asks whether the federal government has the authority to fight back. No one objects. Then Kennedy asks, should state and local law enforcement also have the authority? Professor Donohue doesn't say no, but she brings in the Constitution. You can almost feel Kennedy's eyes narrow. She mentions limits, the Fourth Amendment, general warrants, and due process. Kennedy doesn't waste time. He listens to the professor talk about warrant requirements and First Amendment rights, and then he pounces. So you want to give law enforcement the power, but with AI of conditions? Boom, direct hit. Donohue pushes back, insisting these aren't excessive. But Kennedy's not buying it. He accuses her of loving the bill to death, and then Kennedy goes for the jugular.
There have to be acknowledgments of First Amendment concerns. So for instance, limiting the covered facilities to the experience and logic test with which the courts use for right of public access, or prohibiting media bans across the board, or setting a time limit before and after special events so they don't extend extensively. This is what a number of state measures already do, and I'd like to see that at a federal level and apply to bring this within the constitutional limits.
Sounds like a lot of conditions to me.
No, not very many. As long as there's probable cause and the conditions are met, then absolutely you can.
Have you ever heard of a legislative practice called loving a bill to death?
Yes.
Okay. And that's when you take a bill and somebody says, I'm really for this bill. But then they add so many amendments and they screw it up so badly that the bill either becomes ineffective or doesn't pass. Is that a pretty accurate description?
Of the term?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're trying to love this to death, aren't you?
I disagree.
Kennedy calls her out, straight up says, I don't believe you, Professor. He accuses her of siding with the bad guys. You're not talking to Bambi's baby brother here. Classic Kennedy. Donohue holds her ground, supporting law enforcement within constitutional limits. He brings up her past writings, implying she's not honest. Peak judiciary tension right here.
You're not really for giving law enforcement the power to fight back, are you?
I am.
I don't believe you, Professor. You're not talking to Bambi's baby brother here, okay? I've read some of your stuff. I think you'd be more intellectually honest if you just come out and say, I'm on the side of the bad guys here. I think we shouldn't give state and local law enforcement the authority to fight back. You're trying to make it as hard as possible, aren't you?
We'll have to disagree on that point, Senator.
Nah. You ever heard the expression, watch what they do, not what they say? I've watched what you've done. I know what you believe.
And just when you think Kennedy's done, he brings up the FISA Court. Were you there when you guys issued all those bad warrants against Trump's people? Oof! Donohue clarifies she's an amicus, not a judge, but she can't discuss classified matters. Kennedy jabs about double-secret probation and the American people being left in the dark.
You're on the FISA Court?
I'm not on the court. No, I'm an amicus for the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court and the Court of Review.
Were you there when you guys issued all those bad warrants against Trump's people?
I can't discuss my work on the court,
Oh,
unfortunately.
it's top secret, right? You'd have to put me on the American people on double secret probation if you told them the truth, wouldn't you?
No. I can't discuss my matters that I've handled before the court.
Whether you side with Kennedy or Donohue, this exchange is a must-watch for anyone who cares about law enforcement, privacy, and government power. If you're into real talk, courtroom fireworks, and deep dives, smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you never miss a breakdown. This is where law meets politics and we cut through the noise.